You can start off in an evening, and one or two will be moving to it, and you can get them in, you can encourage them in your own way by clapping their hands on the stage and what have you, and it'll start spreading, and a whole lot start getting with it. And you can see a whole audience, in fact, going crazy, clapping their hands and dancing with it. It's mass hysteria, if you like.
It was released last week, last Friday. It's doing pretty well now, actually. Oh, you're back, you know, for some money. This one is called Daytime. Nighttime.
Simon Dupree and the Big Sound are not a big group as pop groups go. They've made a couple of records and they've been tipped for the top more than once, though so far they haven't quite made the top 10. But the girls who throng to hear them are the same girls who flock to all the other groups. They're the fans. Girls between 14 and 17, everybody's daughters, everybody's wives-to-be, out for a bit of excitement, a bit of a thrill. But all of them, most of them innocently, are already familiar with a world their parents know nothing about, a world with its own jargon, its own morality, where the social pattern their parents thought entirely natural has been turned on its head, and the girls have become the hunters, the boys the hunted. It's the world of the Ravers. The Ravers may be nothing new. Women wept when Valentino died, and girls used to swoon for Sinatra. But with greater freedom and less parental authority, these girls no longer seem to have the same pressures keeping them in check.
What do you think of the girls who behave in this way?
I just think they're normal, you know, it must be normal, because nearly all of them do, who come to dances, and they must be normal, obviously. It's good.
You don't find yourself looking down on them in a way?
Oh, no, you can't look down on your audience at all. If you do, they'll think you ask. They won't come and see you, you know, they just won't. You've got to talk to them and chat with them, you know.
The Ravers usually invade the dressing room in the interval between sets, begging for autographs or anything else they can get their hands on. Simon and the others in his group are unusually restrained in the way they respond. Not many other groups behave as well.
Have you got no more pictures?
Give us a kiss. No, not just now, not just at the minute. You sit down here. I'll be sure on that.
Scary, aren't you?
Yes, sure. Something that happened in my youth. They planted these.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's what I'm on about.
You all right? Do you know what happened before I did this once? My father came up and punched me straight on the nose for doing it.
I want
I mean it. You sure?
Yeah.
Your parents won't object?
No.
Right,
And we want to kiss.
Do you think there's any danger at all in little girls, young girls, getting carried away with themselves?
Danger? That's a funny word to use, really.
Well, is it bad for them?
No, not at that stage, no. Not the age you're talking about. I'm sure you're talking about 14 to 17-year-old girls. No, I don't think it's a bad thing at all. I think it's a great outlet, especially in dance halls, to really go crazy, go mad. It's the pent-up types who become neurotics, what have you, eventually. And they just go crazy, I suppose, without this sort of stuff. The girls want to go daft, let them go daft, let them get out of their system. This is good enough.
For these girls, fragments of shirt will become treasured mementos to be hidden in pillows or stuffed into autograph albums. But some of them, called by the others groupies, want more than Simon's autograph. They want Simon.
It's just lovely.
What do you think is lovely about him?
It's fantastic look and he's sexy and everything.
How do you know he's sexy?
Wow, the way he stands.
Do your mothers know you come here this evening?
Yes.
Do they mind?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Would they mind if you were just to go out with Simon Dupree?
No.
And what time would your mother expect you home?
Anytime I gets in. I gets in when I like.
And you're 17?
16.
Have you met any pop groups before?
Yes.
And what happened?
I went with the drummer out of Jeff Beck, went with Titch out of Dave D, and snogged with all the trogs.
When you say you went with them, what do you mean?
Well, you know, just snogged with them and that. And stayed with the drummer of Jeff Beck for about 2 hours.
Oh, you stayed with him?
Mm.
Were you proud of doing that?
Yeah.
Did you tell all your friends?
Yeah.
Did you tell your mother?
No.
Would she mind?
I don't know, really. She wouldn't, but our dad would.
What did you get out of it? What was the big thrill?
Well, everybody liked him and I went with him, so, you know.
So, did you feel one up on everybody else?
Yeah.
Would you do that with any big pop star?
Oh, no. You know, not if they ain't good looking or something like that.
Would you with Simon?
Oh, yeah.
Just only asking.
Yeah, he's lovely.
You went up on the stage, didn't you?
Yes.
And you grabbed Simon.
Yeah.
Why?
I think he's lovely. Ooh. Do anything to get with him for a couple of hours. I would. He's gorgeous. Oh. Oh.
What is it, do you think, that the girls see in you that makes them flock round like this?
Well, records, well, it's just the general publicity of a group. Records, television, radio, anything like that. You're in the papers, and they think you're important, and so they flock after you. It's easy.
Do you think there's an element of competition in the girls themselves? If they can get you...
Yeah, definitely. You give a girl an autograph, you just write Simon Dupree, and the next one you write to Irene or something from Simon Dupree. The one who I gave Simon Dupree will come and say, yeah, you put Irene on that, you've got to put my name, and Kisses this time as well. Well, it's all right, you know, good, but there is competition between girls with that sort of thing as well.
What do you think the girls are after then?
Idolisation, obviously, it has to be. They're after going out with the groups as well, you know. Some girls sort of notch themselves at how many groupsters they've been out with. Yeah, it's weird, but that's true.
Have you come across them?
Yeah, I've come across these girls, obviously, all groups do.
How do they go about getting hold of you?
Well, they either wait till afterwards, after the gig, in the hall, if they're allowed to, but that's not very usual. They always wait by our van after our road manager's packed up. We sort of rush into the van, but there's always about a crowd of girls outside. And you'll usually find the ones that want a lift, you know. It's as simple as that.
And they just ask for a lift?
As well as other things, yeah.
And what happens then?
Well, it depends what they look like, you know. If they're nice girls, yeah, why not? We'll give them a lift, why not?
Let him get in the van. Down the other side. Let him get in. Back on me. There's some keys. Down the other side, man.
Oh, you want to put it all, do you? Come on. Yeah? Why's that then?
Are you?
Oh, no, I'm not safe, no.
Aren't you?
No, you're gonna
I
watch
don't
me.
care.
What?
I don't care.
Oh, man. Yes! All right. Oh.
Oh, let me, please. Where are you going? Mark, come on! Don't be... We love you! We do! Bye-bye!
How do you look upon groupies then in general? What do you think of them?
I think it's a bit of a pity. You know, I don't want to say this too much, but it's a pity a lot of them really do. I don't know what they want. They're almost like autograph collectors in a way. Only it's not autographs they're collecting. It's groups that they're collecting, you know. But what they're doing to themselves is a ridiculous thing, because you'd be amazed how many boys know the same girls in this business. And they're spoken about, the same girls are spoken about from town to town, you know. Do you know old so-and-so? Ah, do we know? You know, this bit. And they do, they know the same girls. And it's always the same girls, surprisingly. Or not surprisingly, maybe. But it's the same girls who turn up time and time again to see different groups. It's not just you getting away with them. Last week's lads have been away with them. In 6 weeks' time, a group can be away with the same girls.
What do you think those girls are trying to get out of it?
Well, autograph collectors, as I said, only it's not the autographs they're collecting.
And they're bragging to their friends about
Yeah,
it?
they boast all over the place. Sure they do. Yeah, that's what they're getting out of it. And also, maybe, I mean, you can get a bit psychological about the thing. I suppose they think that being a member of a group makes you a more exciting person. Therefore, sexually, maybe the group is a more exciting person, a group member's a more exciting person to go with, to sleep with. And this is what they're getting out of it. Also, maybe that people who play in groups are more attractive people in their dress, in their hair fashions, in their clothes, and this might also be a good reason, you know, to go with them. They're more exciting people to sleep with.
Also the fact that they've been aroused to some extent by the music?
Earlier in the evening, yeah, to some extent. Although often you find the groupies aren't even concerned with what you play beforehand. Often. They just sort of sit there looking bored, and you know damn well at the end of the night, although these ones on the side have looked bored all night, they're still going to be hanging about at the end of the evening. They've come for one reason, to collect you.
I think the boys, the band, are there to, project sex as well as music. I think that's what it is. I mean, obviously, if you're going to have a boyfriend, you want a boyfriend in a band. If you're looking for a sexy boyfriend, I mean, you know, a boy in a band is best because you see him on stage and he's up there projecting sex all the time.
What is so sexy
That's
about
probably-
them?
I don't know, the way they move, the way they look at you, I don't know what it is really.
Supposing you took a fancy to a boy on the stage, how would you go about trying to meet him?
Well, I'm not a person to ask for autographs or anything like that. Maybe I would go up and, after the show, and ask when the next record's being released or something like that. Get talking to them, and if he's interested, well, he'll ask me out, you know.
Have you ever had the experience of just seeing somebody for the first time on the stage and wanting him, just like that?
Yes, a couple of times.
And what's happened?
Well, I've spoken to them afterwards, or they've spoken to me, and I've gone out with them.
How do you feel if you get in a hall and there's a group up there and you're attracted to them? What kind of response does it give to you? Can you put it into words?
I feel a sense of compatibility with the person.
Even before you've spoken to them?
Yes. It's funny, I feel as if I belong to them already.
Does it worry you that you're not going to see them again very often?
No, it doesn't bother me at all. In fact, I quite like the idea. I like a boy to have lots of experience, to know about lots of girls. It doesn't bother me at all that I won't see him very often. I rather like it that way.
How much do you tell your parents about the kind of life that you lead?
Well, they know where I'm going. They usually know who I'm with, but that's about all.
They don't know what you're doing, precisely. Do you think they'd mind at all?
Mm-hmm.
How much?
They don't mind me associating with boys in groups.
No, they mind
To a
you.
certain extent, you know.
They mind you going to bed with them.
Yeah.
Does that worry you?
Well, you know, they mind me going to bed with anyone. It doesn't matter who, boy in a group or anyone. I think all parents are the same in that respect.
Do you think a lot of girls, in fact, do get taken for a ride
Yeah.
by pop singers?
Yeah, a lot.
Do you mind that in the pop singers themselves? Do you think that's bad of them?
No, I don't think it's really their fault. I think it's the girls that, you know, if they lead them on. If the girls show them that they're interested, well, obviously the boys think, you know.
Thank you very much, Simon Dupree and the Big Stand. Simon, now let's have a few words. Oh, no, enough. Simon, will you come back to Stonehouse one day for us? Definitely come back and see you again, promise you, honestly. Thank you very much. There's going to be a very, very big star, and I know Simon will give his word, he will come back to Stonehouse. Buy his record, girls and boys. He's going to be a very, very big star. Don't forget, see you all next week. Moody Blues, a great group with a climber on London. Thank you very much. God bless. Safe journey home. Good night. Thank you. Thank you, Simon. Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Oh.
How's it gone tonight?
Oh, Todd. Oh, Christ, that was long.
Audience?
Yeah, very sort of clubby, yeah. Creased, actually. You hot? Oh, change my shirt. Oh. Come on. Where's the rest of them? Well, struggling through, I imagine.
Do we get him? Right, but that's it.
Come on the front now.
No, we can't see you. You can't.
Well,
You
you were on
can't.
the front, I saw you. No, I didn't see it.
Just about me, don't you?
Thanks so much.
You saw my arm.
Am I? Oh, am I? Watching you.
Put through Joe.
This look great in high school uniform. One day. What about me then? I'll shoot you now. Oh look!
It's bit in the arm, isn't it?
If it comes off on my dress, doesn't matter. I'll have no eyeliner.
What are your mum saying?
Oh, she'll just kill me.
You'll make me shave. Now, wait a minute.
I don't know what you're making me do.
Hold on in. On in.
I'll put as much as I can on it.
Hey.
I'm going to take the kisses from you.
At this club, which is also a church hall, the promoter is Hard Rudman. He's the man who pays the group and exercises the only moral authority that anybody there can look for. It isn't much.
If the lead singer of this particular band tonight, Simon, just wanted to snap his hands, he could have had a majority of this crowd. They'd have just dropped their own boyfriends like that because he's Simon Dupree. Because they know him, they've seen him on television, he's on Saturday Club. They can tell all their friends at work tomorrow, I know, I went out with Simon Dupree, he kissed me, he looked at me, anything, you know? This is the thing with these kids.
In your experience, do pop groups sometimes take advantage of that situation?
Unfortunately, yes, they do, a lot do. A lot of them do, and there's certain bands in the past that were ridiculous, you know, really exploited it. But it's there to be exploited. Girls will literally throw themselves at these guys, and a lot do. You've got a decent band tonight, and that's it, but a lot do, man.
What sort of thing happens?
Where'd you live, Duck? Or we're staying in a hotel tonight, come back and have a look round with us, this sort of thing, you know, and they go back to the hotel and they finish up in bed with the guys in the group, and that's it. And about 3 months later, when the band's gone and everything, they're in trouble. This has happened a lot. I think groups can make or break a person. They hold certain people's destiny in their hands. Because they are all to these people. They're everything. They worship them. They wake up in the morning, their pictures are on their, you know, they see them, they have them on the wall in their beds. They go to work and they dream about seeing them, and it's their life. Because their own jobs and things are so boring, and these people's lives are so exciting to them. Having mixed with these kids for a long time, I'm sure this is what it is. The stars are so, their life is such a paradise, and their life is so boring. They just throw themselves to get with them, thinking that these people will love them or like them.
So as a promoter, do you do anything to prevent too much happening?
No, I let things sit there because I can't prevent things. If I see a girl hopelessly drunk, I just say, well, look, come over here and try and sober up, because I then can see it, but you can't stop things happening. Things even go on in the hall, you know, amongst themselves with their boyfriends and things, you know, you just can't stop it. They're old enough to their own minds now. Kids are that much more advanced. They're all pretty well briefed at school, and they know all about things by the time they're 12, sexually and everything.
What about if the group get a girl in there and lock the dressing room door? Would you do anything about that?
Generally, I wouldn't know. I've got enough on my plate normally, running a dance.
Has it happened in your experience?
It has. It's probably happened more than I know about, but there's not much I can do about it, you know.
Do you feel that their parents should probably keep closer control of them than they do?
I think if their parents knew, I don't think their parents are with them at all. I don't think their parents realise what is happening. Their parents just think they're going to a dance like they did, to just dance and look at a group. I think if they knew what happened, they'd be horrified. I really do. There's no bond between parents and youngsters. Kids just, I didn't know, I don't think anybody does want to talk to their parents about these things. They want to talk to their mates, who know as little as they do about it. And consequently, they might say, yeah, well, go on, and this sort of thing, you know. Now, I don't think there's a bond at all between parents and youngsters these days, because there's such a vast difference. It's just a tremendous gap between, you know, when I was a teenager and what's happening now. Kids just got no morals at all these days, it seems to me, you know. Whether it's good or bad, I don't know.
You said that you don't feel any loss of respect for them, but would you like, you have a sister, would you like your own sister to behave in the way that some of these ravers do?
I wouldn't, seriously, I wouldn't worry. You know, I know it must be natural, it must be normal, because all the girls do. That's it's easy. They all do. You know, most of the young girls go to dances, and most of them will treat a pop group or idolise a pop group or a star. And I wouldn't have any disrespect for it at all.
You don't think their parents should perhaps have better control of them?
I can't see how they can, really. I mean, they're always on television and on the radio and always in magazines, and they have to idolise something. Even if it's a footballer, you know, George Best of Manchester United is idolised because he's a youngster and he's been in the magazines and he's been publicised.
But idolising somebody doesn't necessarily mean you want to go to bed with them.
You'd be surprised in these young girls. It does, you know. Well, some of them, I'm not saying all of them, I'm sort of generalising. I say 20% of the girls that come afterwards will go to bed with him.
Like collecting autographs?
Yeah.
You are listening.